everyone and welcome to St Ives TV. I'm Rosie. I'm up at Knills Monument in Steeple Lane today to learn more about the monument and also a ceremony that's happening this year. It happens every 5 years on St James's Day, the 25th of July. I have the Master of Ceremonies with me today, Laity, and we're going to find out all about it. I'd like to know a little bit more about John Knill.
Well, he was Keeper of Customs, you know, the customs officer for St Ives. Very sort of erudite man, really. And so he was in a community where most of the people were unable to read or write, and he was a helpful person. Anyway, he fell in love with St Ives, like many, many thousands do, and decided he wanted to remain in the memories of St Ives people for longer than is usual. His words, actually, for longer than is usual. And so he built this mausoleum on top of Walvis Hill, and he had intended being buried in it, but in fact he changed his mind later in life and gave his body to the surgeons in London. He set up a trust. There's tithes that come from land in North Devon. And this money came down and was put in his iron chest. Now there were 3 keys to the iron chest, one held by the customs officer, one by the mayor and one by the vicar. And the money was put in, and every 5 years there was sufficient money built up to carry out a ceremony here. And that entailed a fiddler and 10 maidens, and widows of miners or fishermen, and of course the mayor and the trustees, so the vicar and the customs officer. We give out the bequests in front of the Guildhall, and then we come up to Walvis Hill, up to the steeple, as it's generally known, Knills steeple, and we dance around the steeple. About 15 minutes, not all in one go, but in several batches. And I try and get the mayor to dance with a widow, and I'll dance with a widow, and so on. And it's quite a lovely occasion. And then I have to ask the trustees if they consider that we've carried out the bequest properly. If they say yes, because if they say no, we have to do it all again. But if they say yes, we then sing the old 100. You know, all people that on earth do dwell.
Oh, lovely.
That one, lovely.
So how does the ceremony actually start at the Guildhall? What do you do
right.
gathered at
First of all, the trustees come out, looking immensely trustworthy, behind the chest with their keys. And this time, the first time in many, many years, the chest actually can be opened by the 3 keys. And it's so devised that you have to open the side locks first before the mayor can open the middle lock. So they get behind the chest and all the bequests are in there. Yeah. And then the girls, the maidens and the fiddler line up along the front, and the widows come in, and the town clerk and the mayor and the mace bearers and everything. And then they all turn round and get their bequests. And, you know, it's then from there we process around through St Andrew Street, up through High Street, disrupting all the traffic. And then we go along to up to the coach and then up to here. One year, the trustees in their wisdom chose one of a pair of twins to dance, but not the other. Oh, no. But the grandmother wasn't having any, and she dressed the other one up the same and pushed her in, and we danced with 11. The trustees couldn't count or didn't bother. John, I said, John, we got an extra, well, it doesn't matter, you know. And on we went, and we had 11. You know, I mean, I admired her greatly. She wasn't going to have one twin put out, you know.
No, quite right.
Lovely. They're going to open up the mausoleum this year, which makes it especially attractive, people coming up. And inside there's a granite sarcophagus, which is, and there's like a leaf of granite taken out, ready to put the body in. But the actual coffin, granite coffin's full of water, clear water, which must percolate down from the actual steeple. Fishermen use this steeple as a day mark, You know, if you get a steeple over the chapels in the cemetery, you know, you're on Scuddy Main, and if you take it to Man's Head, you go off, you're on the railway wreck, and it's a good day mark. But you see, he was a bit more than a customs officer. To bury a man like that, I don't mean literally, but to stick him in St Ives for 11 years had to mean something. Yeah. And when, after his time in St Ives, he was rewarded greatly by Prime Minister Pitt, younger, and sent to the West Indies, where he made a lot of money as a customs officer. And it was said that through the smugglers and through the privateers, because he financed a couple of privateers, they were licensed pirates, you know, really. Packets were coming over, messages were coming over from British agents in France, because we were at war with France again. Aren't we always at war with France, if you know what I mean? And so these were then sent up to Prime Minister Pitt, and as a reward, you know, he was given this plum job. It's a good story, anyway.
What do you actually wear on the day?
Oh, I've got a morning suit and a top hat, you know. It's quite... Everyone dresses up well. I mean, we don't expect the customs officer to have anything other than a lounge suit. But a couple of ceremonies ago, one turned up in a medieval customs officer uniform, which was brilliant, you know, sort of striped socks and things, which was very, very noble of him, really. And of course the mayor is decked out and the vicar plays his part. And as I say, the customs officer, the lounge suit's quite all right. You know, it's generally realised how much goes on. John and I really are, you know, immaterial, and so are the trustees. It's those 10 maidens, all their families, all their aunts and their uncles, and they're all dressed up in white and with you know, the brocade and the ribbons and things. Well, we're just also rounds.
I don't think so at all.
Everyone, you know, they dance beautifully around here, and yeah, should be interesting on the day. We usually go round anti-clockwise, I think. Yes, I usually put them round anti-clockwise. And yeah, that's good, you know. People get down here and all round and everything, you know. It's really, really good, really first class. Yeah.
Well,
no, it's just so St Ives. You know.